Hi guys, welcome to our week 13 meeting. Sorry couldn't be here with you guys yesterday. Had to go to a meeting yesterday, and also didn't have my laptop with me, so couldn't do the meeting live. But now I'm here. All right, so this is our 13th week meeting, and then we only need to talk about one chapter for this week. Let me see who is here. We have Delapos here, Veronica, Laura, uh, Dita is here, Masha, and Thong, and then Magali. Oh, it's the usual people. So everybody's here. All right, so let's talk about your stuff for this week and an upcoming week. Now, next week is the holiday week. Muhammad, I got your email, so I will fix the extra credit for you. I think what's happening is that we have two Muhammad Ali Qatar in my class, and I've already assigned the extra credit to different Muhammad. So don't worry, Muhammad, I will get the extra credit for you, okay? So let's talk about next week. Now, next week, we don't have a meeting next week because next week is a holiday. Now, even though I love you guys, but I think my wife will want to kill me if I want to do a live meeting on Thursday next week. So next week we don't have a meeting. But we have something better. So what's going to happen this weekend, probably today or tomorrow, I will reopen all the quizzes. So all the quizzes for the entire chapter will be reopened. If you miss anything, or if you want to do one more try, get a better grade, you are more than welcome. So all the quizzes will be reopened. You can go back in there, redo all the quizzes. And I'll also reopen all the assignments. Now, the thing with assignments is a little tricky. For assignment, I think if you never did it before, if I reopen it, you can go back there, work on it. But if you already submit your assignment before, I don't think you can rework on it. Now, however, if you want to redo, individual assignment and get a better grade, send me an email. And then what I can do, I can delete your first submission, and then you can go back into MindTab and then rework on the assignment and get a higher grade. Okay, so let me know that if you want to work on it. Now the quiz should be okay. Quiz, you have your 3 tries. You can do one more, if you want to work on it and then get a higher grade, that's okay. But remember, for the assignment, if you do decide want to redo the assignment, send me email. Let me know which chapter you want to redo, and then I will delete your assignment, and then you can go back in there and work on it. Okay, so let's talk about this week. Oh, also one more thing. Last week I didn't know. I didn't realize the quiz date for chapter 32 was messed up. So for some of us, your quiz 32 was due last week, even though the assignment was due this week. So what I did, if you guys noticed already, that your chapter 31 and chapter 32, they're all due this week. So so if you didn't finish anything from chapter 31, you can rework on it. And then since everything's reopened next week, even if you miss your assignment for this week, you'll be okay because next week they will be open. Okay, so the same with the assignment. Use them as a review for your test, and also use them as a review for the final. Masha, how long will they be open? Let me think. So let me reopen them for 2 weeks. Okay, so now normally I just do it for 1 week, but since I love you guys more, I get open for 2 weeks. So you guys can enjoy your holidays and then work on it after you come back from holiday. Okay, so all the quizzes, all the assignment will be reopened for 2 weeks, so they'll be all open until end of next week. Okay, all right. All right. Does anybody have any question about that? No questions. All right, if no questions, then let's talk about this week's stuff, chapter 32. All right, let me do screen sharing. All right, so now I know mine says number 19, but it's chapter 32. And then, by the way, guys, I will post the PowerPoints once we finish the meeting. Okay. So this is based on the last chapter 31. So it's still talking about open economy, but it goes a little deeper. Okay. So again, but most of the definitions and the formulas. So let me tell you which one you need to know. Let me see. So know that your saving equals to investment, so domestic investment, plus net capital outflow. So the same with net capital outflow, it's just how much money is going out of the country. So to find out what your saving for the country is, just use how much your domestic investment, subtract the money that's going out of the country, that's how much money you're actually saving in the country. All right, and then what else is important? We talk about this last chapter. So your net capital outflow depends on the interest rate. So or the rate of return. So if your rate of return is higher, then you will be attracting more capital inflow. And then if your rate of return is lower, then you can lose your net capital outflow. Okay. Now, rate of return is how much profit you have. So for investment, if your investment carry a higher interest rate, then more investors want to invest money with you. So you're gonna have a higher net capital outflow. All right, we talked about this before. Let me see what else. Yeah, guys, like I said, chapter 32 is just based off chapter 31. So it's mostly definitions. Let me see. And I posted some videos last week for 2 questions. And then again, if any of you guys having trouble with any of the problems for chapters 31, 32, let me know. And I will do a couple more videos on YouTube and explain to you how to do the assignments. All right, so know that your net capital outflow equal to net export. Remember, net export is your export minus import. Okay. And the reason why that is the reason why your net capital outflow equal to export, because for all the money we have for export and import, the more export you have, the more money you have in the economy. And then the more import you have, the less money you have in the economy. And all this flow of currency, it just equals to how much money is coming out, how much money is going in. Okay, so that's therefore your net capital outflow is just equal to your net export. So just remember that. Okay. Let me see. Is this important? Exchange rate, it's not that important. It's okay. Oh no, this 2 over here. So when the supply of dollar increase, this will have effect on your exchange rate, and when the demand for dollar change, this also have a change on exchange rate. So exchange rate is the value of your home currency in terms of other currency. That's your exchange rate. So anytime when that happens, they will have effect on your investment, also have effect on your net capital outflow. Okay. Let me see what to talk about. It's not important. Wait, is it? Oh, sorry. Oh no, that's only halfway. I thought that was the end of the chapter. Again, guys, if you have any question about this chapter, just ask me, and I can answer them on live. Okay. Let me see what else important. Just basic definition, and know what's a trade policy. So we talked about this before. So what's a tariff? What's a quota? We talk about this in chapter 9. It's really not that much new stuff to talk about. Let me see. Yeah, guys, really, I think. Oh, okay. So what's the capital inflow? Capital inflow is when you have a sudden reduction in the demand for asset located in the country, or capital flight. Now let me give example. So this happened in Argentina. So Argentina in the early 2000s, the country was having a bankruptcy issue. The government was going bankrupt, and then all of a sudden, nobody wanted to invest money with Argentina anymore. So in the early 2000s, there was a capital flight. So many foreign investors, they were selling their asset in Argentina and then take the money out of the country. So all of a sudden, the Argentine currency was worthless because nobody wanted to have Argentine currency anymore. So the market was flooded with Argentine currency. So supply went up, and then the value for Argentine currency went down, and all of a sudden, that everything become worthless. And then this is a snowball effect, and eventually the country was drained of foreign investment. Okay. Let me see what else. Yes, this is it for this chapter. Um, you know what, guys? Before we finish this chapter, let me tell you a story. Story always good. So this story happened in Asia in the late 1990s, 1997. So in Asia in 1997, there was an Asian currency crisis. So it all started with a country called Indonesia. So it started with Indonesia currency, and then what happened was that their currency went down in value. Now, for U.S. economy, we don't care about Indonesia. I mean, sure, it's a country, but we don't do any business with Indonesia unless you're buying exotic fruit. So we don't care about Indonesia, so that's okay. But who cares about Indonesia currency is Thailand. So what happened was that Indonesia, they lowered the currency value, and then everything made in Indonesia was cheaper. And then all of a sudden, their neighbor Thailand was losing the competitiveness against the stuff produced in Indonesia. So everybody was buying stuff from Indonesia, and nobody was buying stuff from Thailand. So under pressure, Thailand also lowered the value for the currency. Now, again, for U.S. economy, we don't care about Thailand. I mean, sure, they're a country, and then they produce a lot of rice, but we don't buy those rice from Thailand. So we don't care. But who cares about Thailand? Thailand's neighbors. So countries like Malaysia, countries like Indonesia, countries like Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam, and then all their currency value went down. And again, we don't care because we don't do any business with those countries. But who cares is a country called South Korea. So South Korea care about those trade with those countries. So to stay competitive, South Korea also lowered the currency value. So by late 1997, the South Korean currency went down by almost 50% in value. Now back then we were doing some business with South Korea, but it wasn't that many. Now remember back then we didn't have the Samsung Galaxy, so nobody was buying Galaxy back then. The only thing we had dealing with South Korea was there's a brand of car. It's called Daewoo. I don't know if you guys remember this. So that was the stuff we're buying from South Korea, so it wasn't that much either. So we don't care about South Korean economy, but who cares about it was Japan. Japan cares about it. So when the South Korean economy was going down, when their currency was lowering value, the Japanese was also under pressure to lower the currency value, which they did. And then the value for the Japanese yen, it changed dramatically. So within 3 months period, it went from about 100 yen to $1 to 140 yen to $. So the Japanese yen was low in value. Now, we care about the Japanese yen because we do a lot of trade with Japan. So when the Japanese yen lower in value, the US government was in trouble because we need to fix this. Because if we don't fix it, that means everything produced in Japan is cheaper and we're going to buy more stuff from Japan, and which is bad for our US economy. So overnight, the US government, together with Chinese government, decide to go to the open market and then purchase a lot and a lot of Japanese yen. So all of a sudden, the demand for Japanese yen went up, and then overnight, the exchange rate it went from 146 yen to $1 to 120 yen to $. So overnight, the Japanese yen appreciated by almost 20%. And then the next morning, many investors who bet against that. So many investors who were betting that the yen will lose value, they lost a lot of money. And the next morning, you have traders, currency traders, who are jumping off buildings in Hong Kong because they lost so much money. Okay, so that's the currency crisis back in Asia in 1997. All right, so that's that story. Okay, you know what, guys? I think this is the end of this chapter. So does anybody want to ask me any questions regarding this chapter? Let me wait for a while. So there's like a seconds delay today between the my live session and then what is on YouTube. So does anybody have any question? Mesha, I know some professor give points for the survey, but I don't think that's fair for the class. So it's like me bribing you guys for the survey. So guys, I'm not gonna give points for the survey. So if you want to do it, all good for you. But guys, I cannot give you any points for the survey because it just wouldn't be right. I mean, that's bribing. I don't want to bribe you guys. So go ahead, take the survey, and then just be honest on the survey. Say whatever you feel about the class. Okay. And then if anything you want me, you have a suggestion for me, put on the survey, and then later on, I will have a chance to look at the survey from on my side. And now, don't worry, there won't be any name on the survey, so it's all anonymous. So you can be honest with me, okay? Um, but you guys are getting the extra credit for the meetings, okay? Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? All right, so guys, if no questions, don't forget, I'll open up all the quizzes and the exam. And then if you want to redo your quizzes, go ahead. And if you want to redo your homework, my type homework, send me an email, and then I will open up the chapter you want to redo. Okay. All right, so guys, if no more questions, let's end it today. And then, guys, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. So, happy holiday. And I will see you guys back here once we finish the holiday. All right, guys. So eat a lot more turkeys. And then if you're vegetarian, I'm sorry you're missing out. All right, see you later. Bye bye.